What's going on YouTube? This is Max coming back at you once again with another video. This time I'm doing an unboxing video on the LG C1. If you like this type of video, if you could do me a favor by hitting that like button and subscribe button, I greatly appreciate it. So what I went ahead and did is my buddy of mine just got the LG C1 and he wanted me to do an unboxing video for him. So sure enough, I went ahead and said, yeah, no problem. So I went to his house and he just got the LG C1 and he wanted me to do the unboxing and the initial setup for him. So you see me right now with the LG C1 doing an unboxing. I had his son help me out with the unboxing part because I want to make sure that I don't mess this TV up. But pretty much so far, doing the unboxing for the C1 is pretty fairly easy to set up. I just want to show everyone what the unboxing process is. I know you've probably seen this in multiple videos already, but everything is self-explanatory, so I'm just kind of like going through this as fast as I can to show the initial unboxing, what you get in there, and setup for it. At the finished unboxing, you will see that you would get the magic remote, batteries, screws for the TV stand, backplate, and the initial instructions. I just wanted to show this to everyone just in case if this was missed. Now going back to the unboxing, I went ahead and installed the TV stand for right now, but my buddy in the future is going to wall mount this. So we just wanted to go ahead and do the initial setup. So I added the stand to the TV so we could turn it on to make sure everything is working properly on the LG C1. The reason why we installing the TV stand is because we want to make sure that the TV is working properly before it's wall mounted. But I just want to give this as a suggestion to anyone who is thinking about wall mounting their TV is to first unbox it and make sure that the TV is working properly before wall mounting it. So if anyone is familiar with Moan Dog Gaming or Moan, this is my buddy that I'm doing the unboxing for the LG C1. We have a podcast that we usually do on a weekly basis, play-by-play tech, if anyone's familiar with that. But this is his LG C1. He wanted me to come and help out, do the unboxing and the initial setup. So you'll see me and him installing the stand and pretty much just setting up the TV to make sure that there's no issues with it. He just recently just purchased this over the weekend, and before he go ahead and wall mount it, you want to make sure the TV is working with no issues. So we went ahead and put the stand on there, and we're about to go ahead and lift the TV and put it on a table. I always suggest that you always have two people, especially when it comes to a larger size screen TV, 65-inch, that you have another person that will help you to move the TV or mount the TV. So going back to the initial setup and my buddy's TV, this is Moan's first OLED TV ever, and he is pretty excited about the LG C1. I did enough convincing because he always been a diehard LCD fan. He always been worried about burn-ins on OLED screen TVs, and doing enough convincing, he was able to go ahead and do the plunge and get himself an LG C1 after looking at my Sony A90J and my other OLED TV, my Sony A9F. He was saying I'm going to have to go ahead and get myself an OLED TV. So he did the initial unwrapping for it because of course it's his TV and that would be perfect for him. So he's taking off the stickers right now. He's being very careful, just going over the wrapping. So certain parts of the video I went ahead and sped and cut out just because I didn't want to give out my buddy's information. So you will see some certain portions of the video cut out just because how LG will ask you for certain information, and I want to make sure that keeping my best friend, my buddy information private, we went ahead and just skipped certain things. But coming out of the initial setup, we went ahead and just enabled the AI surround sound in the AI Picture Pro. So the initial setup is pretty easy and everything is self-explanatory. Is if I had to compare it so far to the Sony setup compared to the LG, I would say both of them are on par with both setup wise, and both of them are just as easy. When coming to the remote, I will say this: I do like the Sony remote a little bit better than the LG remote. I'm really not into the whole wand magic remote where you have to use use the wand and stuff just to go through the settings. I know you don't have to use it, but it's just I really feel like it's just a whole gimmick in my opinion and when it comes to the remote. So that's one thing that I don't like a LG's Magic Remote, but I know some people like it, but that's just my opinion. But going back and comparing it against the Sony A90J remote, I feel like that's more premium compared to the LG C1 remote. Right now, I'm just going through the settings, just go ahead and update it to cinema compared to standard, because looking at the picture when it first came on, I noticed that cinema is more accurate than standard picture mode. So this is what we have so far on the LG C1. I haven't really dived into too much of the settings. I just went ahead and just updated to cinema for Moan, but other than that, TV looks pretty good out of box on the cinema. Once you update the picture setting to cinema, I would say is decent. Now, as in picture wise, I haven't done any type of calibration or setting updates for him. I'm just going specifically right out of the box. And so far, when I'm looking at on the picture setting, if you switch it to cinema, it looks decent. It does need some updates on the picture settings. I haven't went too much into it, but I will say that the saturation is a little bit tad over on the LG C1 for out of the box for when I took an initial look at it. Now, to be fair, on LG side, if anyone has purchased a Sony TV, now Sony picture settings, they tend to run a little bit cooler on the aspects of picture settings where it looks a little bit more bluish than the normal picture settings. So to LG side, if you get the LG TV, it is a little bit it is oversaturated from what my viewings are of the LG C1, but if you get a Sony TV, it also runs a little cool when it comes to their picture settings. So I just want to make sure I'm fair on both sides. Now going back to the LG C1, you might see some overblown whites coming from my camera. I will say it's the camera and it's not the TV. It is not overblown from what I can see in person in detail. So some of these demos that I'm doing right now, you may see that the whites are overblown. It's really my camera. I have a Sony ZV-1, and looking at the actual video, you can see that certain things look overblown. So I will do a better recording and more rendering once I have more time with the LG C1. So right now, this is the best I could do, especially when we're just doing the initial setups and unboxing. So if anyone is wondering and looking at what's going on, it's not the TV, it's the camera itself. So besides the camera, looking at the LG C1 picture, I will say this, the picture is great. It looks good. Comparing it to the Sony A90J, I will say that the Sony A90J, when it comes to specular highlights and picture details, I will go on the Sony side. Just basing it off of memory and what I'm looking at coming out of the box from LG and even on the Sony A90J. And looking at the Sony A90J, when I went back home, it felt like it had a more three-dimensional, had more punch, and it had a lot more specular highlight, especially when it comes to the HDR content. This is not an LG C1 review, so I will do that a little bit later. But if you could do me a favor, if you like this type of content, if you give me a like and a subscribe button, and comment if you have any questions regarding this unboxing and initial setup, and what would you like to see going down in the future. If you have any questions, just let me know. And I just want to say thank you again for subscribing to the channel and liking my videos. Until next time, catch you on the next one. Take care.